There's nothing more than the truth that comes forward.
Well, and I would say this: it's actually more susceptible to the cabbage worm.
Mm.
As far as like total destruction of a plant, I've seen it like wreak havoc on it. So, but I love growing broccoli. Once I cracked the code of fertilizing a lot and planting earlier, it's become one of my favorites to grow.
So again, I shared in a previous episode, I've never had fall broccoli, and
Yeah,
this is the year that I'm hoping to have it. Um, but I can sign on to like, gosh, that could be one of the best crops to grow because everyone's going into cooler weather. Maybe not cold weather, but
cooler.
everyone in, in our hemisphere is going into cooler weather. And you're not, so there is no clock that you're racing against like you would be in the spring. So that's, you'll see again, the factors that make it, the best are different per vegetable. So I love it for that. I think coming off of all of this, the acidic type vegetables in the spring, it's just hardier.
Yeah,
And I think you're absolutely right with my spring grown broccoli. Like you get there quicker. You know, like,
yeah, you
you get
do.
there quicker compared to like a cabbage, for example.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, and the days to harvest is very similar on it, but the difference is you can harvest once you get a head, you can harvest that head kind of whenever. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like the cabbage, you can get loose leaf cabbage and stuff, but I've never done that, and I'm not willing to
Yeah,
do
me
that. It's not
yeah.
something I'm interested in at all. So I'd have to be
Now
pretty damn desperate.
you said quick, but for me, this is the distinction. I want to dig in here a little bit. For me, it matters how quick I get it because that's how quick I get to enjoy it. But there's nothing coming in after it for fall planted broccoli
Mm-mm.
for me.
No, me either. It goes all the way up to the bitter end,
Yeah.
and then that bed will be empty afterwards.
Yeah.
So
In the spring, I have more trouble with the cabbage worm for my cabbage than I do my broccoli. It'll be interesting. I'm not going to test it out in that I'm not going to give I'm not going to give her a chance.
yeah,
I'm covering
well,
all of that shit.
and the reason
Yeah.
why I hesitated in the beginning too is compared to spring, broccoli is more difficult for me to grow in the fall than it is the spring. Spring is
Hmm.
pretty straightforward. It's cool. You're getting a little bit warmer, so on and
Mhm.
so forth. Here, it's like we're planting in the heat and all that stuff. But really, anything fall is difficult for me. So I just kind of have to pick my battles. So
Yeah.
it is more difficult in the spring, but it still is one of my favorite. And I think it's just highly recommended. I've been eating these meals recently, trying to lose a little bit of weight, bro, man, trying to live
Mhm.
longer. And they started
Mhm.
putting broccoli in the meal. And it's
Mhm.
like first broccoli I've had in a long time. And I was like, damn, I miss having broccoli.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I never thought I'd say that when I was 10 years old.
I I'm trying to get ahead of myself because I'm not going to grow a lot of broccoli this fall. Um, but that could be interesting.
I'm going to grow as much broccoli as I can to try and learn how to make it easier for myself to grow in the fall. I'm going to give myself as much room for error as possible. I
I'm
got it
right on
figured
the
out for spring. It took me a long time to figure it out for many, many years. So hopefully I can speed up the process for fall. Don't hurt
This is what makes
yourself.
things yeah, it makes it difficult for me. I'm right on the cusp of like literally sowing seeds. And I mean it's
For
the
what?
world is still my garden oyster. So, but this is getting into the I planned on growing 3 or 4 broccoli plants. And I think what you say though, it's absolutely right. I have a better chance at producing more broccoli than I do cabbage, right? I'm direct sowing them both. And generally speaking, it's fine to direct sow in the time that we're recording this for broccoli. It's recommended to transplant cabbage, which I don't have cabbage transplants. So, like, it's the what are you had your bet on? And then I have a space literally that's open now. Now, the trouble is, we're getting away from the topic. I'm just going to say this and I'm going to move on.
Okay. Say it.
The space that I want to grow broccoli in that's immediately available is the space that I want to grow brassicas in next year. So my 2026 growing year already has that in the plan. So, all right.
Wait. I got to say one thing too. And this is just a personal belief of mine. This does
Mhm.
not mean that you should do what I say or anything like that. But my belief is if you want to grow broccoli in the fall, anything, you need to plant a lot of it so you can get a better chance of getting it and figuring it out. It's not necessarily all about the harvest. It's about seeing. So if you plant four and two of them bolt or die or freeze or whatever, well, that sucks. But you don't really get a good sample size. Where if you planted 20, which I know you're not going to, but let's say you
Mhm.
planted a bed of broccoli, then you can really look in it and say, okay, well, this row did good. This one did good. You put a cover on and you can see like, oh, the outside edges got burned and died off. Okay, well, then I need to focus on growing on the inside. You can start deducing a lot really fast instead of
See,
piecemealing
I
it.
think that's excuse me, excellent advice. But I am also making this fall kind of a trial year, trial growing season. I'm growing a little bit of a lot of things,
Yeah.
right? To see what takes. Now, again, the design is flawed because I really don't have a great sample size for any of it. So there is that bit. I know that kale does well in my garden in the fall. I know that collards do well in my garden in the fall. I know that I've had cabbage from, again, coming into right about now. I've not had any success transplanting cabbage in the fall. Just fine in the spring, but never in the fall. So I have an opportunity to play around with all of these vegetables. And it doesn't mean that the jury will be out on them once I get the results, but I don't want to miss another year for saying, all right, just wait until next year to see how fall cabbage
Well,
does. And I don't want to commit to 10 spaces for 10 plants either, you know.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, if you think about it, that's how we all start gardening. We do a lot
Mhm.
of little things, and then you start dwindling it
Mhm.
down from there, going on and on. All right, what's your next
It's the
one?
last chance that I'll have at some level of diversity coming out of my garden for these types of crops as well.
Yeah.
I thought long and hard on this. Damn it. So I it's collards.
Yeah, of course it is.
Well, that's the reason why I thought long and hard on it, because I truly believe it's the best for like all mankind.
Yeah.
Like, very similar reasons as I brought up for kale, as far as the hardiness,
Right.
as far as plants that look like it gives up, but guess what?